Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly, in the hopes that you will comply with his request, and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to Sentinels or the Consul.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal. I'm sure he only told you such a thing to lower your guard. All the easier to slide a blade between your ribs. This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the Consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
You don't look like a scientist.
I'm sure you've heard the rumors that our foodstuffs have been 2% less nutritious than in the past. We seek to rectify this most worrisome factoid.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties, after I apprehended you.
No. My earlier reluctance to kill this Sentinel does not denote trust. There's no guarantee he wouldn't attempt to arrest us at a later point.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. If you had not interrupted me, I would have committed a terrible injustice upon my brethren. If I am to be punished for my failing, I will suffer the consequences head high. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Let us do just that. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend. I shall make certain no other puppets of the Consul yet seek us. On your way.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What in places? These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully. Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops. Lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort, lifting. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place. Mediating! Lethally! Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden. Ah, I think I've spotted it. Look there at the valve beside the sickly yellow pipe. There behind the room's main pillar. There. I'm certain of movement below. Gird yourself with determination, for it seems I was correct about another body being here.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Oh! Wait. Oh, no.
Stay whatever fool words you ready in your defense, for they shall avail you not. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait. I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you. Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal. I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all. I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Excellent. I look forward to it.
A short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the matriarch and first sovereign are buried, supposedly. It's the Protectorate, Commander. What they say publicly and what is actually true ain't usually the same. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous at the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now. Turn your lamps on that building. On that building over there. Reckon that's where we'll be able to get our hands on the rift modulator.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get...
Take cover immediately.
That's one hell of a wall. Going over or under's out of the question. But what about around?
Thankfully, we've options. I recall a secret passage in the tomb of the matriarch that will see us around the blockade. I suspect the local fauna has correctly identified us as a threat. Stand ready, Commander. None shall stand! Taking punitive action!
Nick of time, as always.
Your arrival cannot be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she is purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. Reaching the vaults will be no simple task. There are likely to be unforeseen security measures to contend with, though hopefully nothing too obstructive. We must first gain entry to the security room, however. Once there, I should be able to access more information about the lower level's layout and potential hazards.
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That sentinel and docent are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
Whoa, to have the matriarch taken from us before her time.
Actually, the matriarch passed at the impressive and venerable age of 90, establishing Arcadia's precedent for longevity.
90? So young! Imagine what
the Sovereign's good name? The security system's been activated. Run!
Do not rush me! Wait, what is that buzzing noise? No! Ah!
Well done springing the jaws of that trap on the sentinel. Now to give that docent similar treatment.
Matriarch, preserve me. How in the blazes am I to report this?
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
I now present to you my new invention, the skip drive, a rebel... Set course for Arcadia. In my new colony, we will abandon the illness of corporatism. None will suffer for the pleasure of unseen overlords. And all will thrive. Everything in accordance with the grand paradigm. For my next gift, I bestow upon you the pinnacle of autumn. Let this accord between the Protectorate and the Order of the Ascendant mark the moment of Arcadia's true birth.
Beloved matriarch, you are nearer to perfection as anyone living could ever achieve. It will be the honor of the Order to serve as the Protectorate's scientific helpmeets.
All that I do for
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
I'll come to you. Well handled. Now, my turn. There should be a hidden entrance here.
Safeguarding the matriarch's remains from the council, are we? This is rather unusual, but it is the only sane explanation for what... Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to do this more than a few times. I have visited this place to pay my respects before, but never in quite this manner. Let us leave everything just as we found it. Commander. Oh, I see. You must have noticed a spot of dust on that artifact and taken it for cleaning. Good initiative.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the floors if crossed. Move cautiously, and if you have any gadgets that might help, I suggest using them.
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed.
You've made it through. Good.
Body.
Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the doors should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2.
This attempt has
But which switch corresponds to which number?
Likely to finish
Damn it!
time and disease.
Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
Soon
Must
be
be a way to
sovereign.
suss out which switch
And
is
if that
for which.
bears out, I will
Maybe
need to
if we
hide
could
all
peep
of
the
this.
wiring.
Burn all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his automech body away at the factory. What grief I will inherit. What mess. By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent, my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers swear it's possible to bring them back from the void. Perhaps those are only pretty lies intended to pacify me, but I trust Dr. Hurley to tell me the truth. I know the Consul wishes me to give up this obsession and focus on the war effort, but why should I? Am I not sovereign of Arcadia? Should my desires not take...
Right on the first try. Well, I'll not lament a stroke of good fortune.
Zeb seem a little off to you, Commander? Appreciate you showing him a little grace, all things considered. That business with the curator, I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. I know you're right. Suppose part of me still feels responsible for what he's gone through. If only I stuck it out, maybe then, well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple.
That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
More ambulation, less aspiration. Nice! I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but no matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts.
I fear the
10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
The matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. how the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches, nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it.
Rather a convenient revelation for an enemy of all the Protectorate stands for. Pardon me if I choose to remove myself from this mad conversation.
I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better.
Just what exactly are you thinking, Zeb?
By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
If the whole colony ain't destroyed first by some fool trying to use a drive inside the system. They're what's causing the rift, Zeb. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided. I understand your reticence, but people should have the power and means to make choices for themselves, even unhealthy ones. Only in the Protectorate will you find an ear sympathetic to that belief.
Hey now, we're all still on the same side here. But the commander's got a point. This technology is too dangerous to leave in the hands of just anyone, Zeb.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra and the others, tortured and hunted down like animals. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut?
You remember what we argued about? The day before I left?
I've replayed it in my mind many times.
A lot's changed. But that hasn't. Life in Arcadia could be just like we dreamed it. But there's no future if you go through with this. Not for anyone.
Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but... yeah, maybe we can work something out.
There they are. These are the ruffians who threatened me.
Shelter.
Slay them at once. Suffer nothing.
That cover looks much better. Hastening to
Damn it. Zeb was right. Never should have let that curator go. We could have prevented this. Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I understand his desperation. What I don't understand is the Earth Directorate's part in Arcadia's existence. Ever agreeing to such a cruel bargain in the first place? I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. You're telling me you wouldn't have done things differently, or at least tried to. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in. Back at Horizon Point, ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. It's the damnedest thing. In spite of everything, I find myself relieved we spared her. Augustine still owes a debt to us, and the rest of the galaxy. Maybe she pays it all someday, and maybe she doesn't. Either way, you were right to give her the chance. That's some shoddy translation software you've got in your head. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it. flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. Something has to change within the Directorate. And I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
Attention, Commander. There may be valuable parts at this location that can improve this unit's functionality. Performing a thorough search of the automech factory is advised. Should you wish to maximize your battery unit's combat effectiveness, building factory schematics. It is likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
Prosecuting!
Commander, I'm the one you need to worry about.
Caution subjects. A security breach has been detected. A full laboratory lockdown is now in effect. Repeat, this is a full laboratory lockdown. Stay calm, remain vigilant, and obey security personnel. And always trust solid tasks.
Knew a few arc welders back on Triangular could kill for a suit like that. Lower the rate of deaths on the job for sure.
Attention, subjects. The laboratory lockdown has been lifted, and your faith in the Sovereign has been reaffirmed. You may resume normal activities.
Commencing!
Apologies, but automechanical's work is never concluded.
Commander, just say when.
Replenishing my fire!
Ready to waste them on your command.
Back in my sight! To what end do you endeavor? Glory fast!
appreciate if you cleared out. Invasive!
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Suspicious data hostile detected.
Huh? Hence, idlers and freeloaders! Hit 'em!
Disrupt.
What? Disruptive influences!
Coming up with some folks.
Let's reload! Go! That cover thought was much better! Maintaining perfection!
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Commander, is there a reason we do not deign to enter through the main gate?
Central Control is open to no visitors. Turn around.
Fastest way forward is through!
I shall not stay your execution! Ready to dispense judgment!
Best turn around. Central Control's in... Wait. Arbiter Rao? What are you doing here? I've heard a great deal regarding your exploits within the Protectorate. And it is all that prevents me from summoning the Guard. I've strict orders to arrest you on sight.
I've no desire to slay you, but if you seek to prevent me from pursuing my duties, I will have no other choice.
Arbiter Rao did not report to the Consul's summons. Consequently, he is wanted for questioning. It is only our difference in rank that stays my hand from attempting arrest. You! We'll overwhelm you yet! Alarm! Intruder at Central Control! Battle stations!
Gaze all. Giving chase. Recommencing hostilities. Quarry found.
ICs functioning effortlessly without complaint or
Take the heat off you, Commander. Just say which.
Each a vital cog. Hastening to...
I shall reduce them to a slurry!
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Seeking. Remain vigilant. What kind of tomfoolery is this? That was definitely disruptive influences. To cover. Sustain the system.
Lethal measures at the ready, Commander.
They would drive us carefully reloading. What's your purpose here?
Check enemy like just.
Quarry found. Invasive elements. Targets reacquired.
Who's that? Enemy about. Lock to stop. Got eyes on the door.
Guns cocked.
Here's beneficent guidance. Don't like that.
I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. You must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Yes, I'm fine, because I think I understand what was actually happening. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
There's a simpler explanation here, Tristan. You're just refusing to see it.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. Don't Tristan me. Just because the situation looks dire doesn't mean... Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few Arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... What am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked Arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not. But I know the reality of swaying an Arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. Killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
That's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught. There's no protocol for following one's heart in the Protectorate. I still do not know what to do, but perhaps that is the point. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Guess a canid can change his spots. Sometimes.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an Arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal Arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
You're showing a lot more restraint these days than I'd expect. Mayhall's right to look up to you.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. I assure you, I was once there. Any Arbiter of note must build their character on a foundation of enthusiasm. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an Arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly. The old quarters are... they have all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Looking a bit dewy there, Arbiter Rao.
I'm fine. Some air and dust merely found its way into my eye.
Prosecuted!
Reloaded. Viscerally.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Villains abound. Every component must reload. will subversive knights! Lethally!
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.